There's really no way of verifying life's perception in terms of there being a living conscious or a God, an all-knowing God from some people's perspective. But yet the issue of dark matter is an issue that, in my translation, requires life's perception, being that the human mind, all known current, all known energy that we know about, or common energy, is produced by polar magnetics. That is the magnetic field between magnetic poles. The field between two magnetic poles is a force and therefore causes energy from the movement of that force, as to say, the movement of that force being movement, motion, and therefore causes energy, causes the electron flow and electricity, or whatever the case may be. It occurred to me one time that the fact is that the mind itself works in the opposite polar magnetics, the opposite laws of physics according to magnetic laws, as does in the physical realm. If you take two positive magnets, for instance, they deflect each other while opposites attract each other in terms of magnets. If you take two oppositely charged magnets, they will attract each other. It is exactly the opposite within the mind according to thought processing. The fact being that if you think of a word, the word tree, for instance, then everything you associate with the word tree, the most relevant to whatever thought you're thinking about or whatever brings the subject up, comes to mind, and all of the words associated with the term tree are in the back of your mind, the most relevant being closest to the point of conscious. This is because within the mind and the physical laws of polar magnetics within the mind, similar definitions are attracted to similar definitions, as in the thought of the word tree. This, it must be and has to be a result of a different plane where the magnetic laws are exactly the opposite. That means that all similar definitions in thought definitions, the whatever it is that defines the definition, the physical definition of a thought, are bound and attracted to one another according to magnetics. This means that this must be from a different realm of physics. In fact, a smaller realm. If you were the size of the universe or half the universe in or around, and you looked in upon the solar system, then in theory it would be, instead of seeing planets circling the sun, you would see solid rings, because the motion would be that much faster at the lower level than it would be at the same level you're at, because the larger you are, the faster the motion is below you in a different realm. This being the same in a smaller zone, as to say, meaning that all mass below atomic level mass would be in a different time zone, as to say, a different time frame, and therefore are subject to a different set of laws in terms of interaction with the atomic level plane. This means that matter is subatomic particles, or subatomic mass for a better word, not actually referring to what we know as subatomic particles, but just in general theory, subatomic particles moving faster than the speed of light would form a solid at the realm of the time realm, the time dimension that we call atomic level in our time frame. This means that if there were 3 tiny dots at that level, then they would be, and they were circling, they were in motion, then they would be a solid if paired upon from the atomic level, if they were in the time frame below the atomic level that was moving faster than light speed, hence causing mass at this level, at the atomic level, from our perception at this level.